No, he doesn't breathe fire, he's not green, but yes, he is the king of the monsters. Godzilla is the first film in a 50-year-long series of films based on one of the most popular, if not the most popular monster ever created for film. But, you know, with all the sequels, that shitty-ass remake, and that reboot, which hopefully will be good, people seem to forget what the original movie was like. Even with it being released, even with the original Japanese version being released in the US, and Criterion releasing it in their lineup, people seem to forget that it's a very dark movie and was really adult for the... It was really more of an adult movie than the science fiction movies coming out in the 50s, so what exactly makes it what it is? The movie starts out with a shipwreck. Some sailors are having a good time in their boat, then there's a big flash of light, the sea goes up in flames, and the ship sinks. One of the survivors is discovered on his home at Otojima Island, and it's there where we start to learn about the creature that the islanders fear, named Godzilla, who really at this point needs no introduction. So after a stormy night in which Godzilla basically hunts down the survivor and kills him, our main characters from the mainland eventually find out about the monster, and our main characters are Ogata, a sailor, Emiko, his girlfriend, and her father, Dr. Yamane. Dr. Yamane sets up an expedition to go to the island, and it's there we get our good look at Godzilla for the first time. And eventually Godzilla makes it to the mainland and goes on a rampage through Tokyo. Now, with a simple story like that sounds so much like a 50s monster movie, why is it more adult than any of the other movies coming out in the United States at the time? Well, first of all, you gotta take in the fact that 9 years before this movie was released, Japan was bombed with the atomic bombs in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. And so basically, producer Tomiyuki Tanaka and director Ishiro Honda came up with the idea that Godzilla should be a metaphor for the atomic bomb. He was created by atomic energy. The atom bomb is a very serious matter. Let's make this movie with that serious tone. It's also got really creepy music from Akira Ifukube, haunting cinematography whenever Godzilla is rampaging through Tokyo. All those elements combined make for a really not so much scary, but just kind of unsettling movie, especially since Godzilla is basically a guy in a suit stomping around miniatures. Now, one thing that this movie does have that's another important element, and something that future movies would not have, is the human element. You really do care about these human characters. Ogata, Emiko, and this other character that I haven't mentioned, Dr. Serizawa. He and Emiko are the most important characters in this film because they're the ones that have to make the ultimate decisions. The three of them basically form a love triangle. Emiko is set to be married by Dr. Serizawa, so he would be a good research partner for Dr. Yamane, whereas Ogata is the one person she really does want to be with. Dr. Serizawa basically creates this device called the Oxygen Destroyer, which he claims could be as powerful as the atomic bomb. And if it ever was made public, it could possibly be used as a weapon, possibly even bigger than the atomic bomb. I mean, I don't want to really spoil this whole human element because it really plays into the end of the movie in a very emotional way. All I can say is for this original Japanese version, get off your ass and go see it. Find the DVD, find the Criterion Blu-ray, whatever you have to do, go see it in its original Japanese form, because it is really, really good. Now, this movie was released in the US under the name Godzilla King of the Monsters, and basically it's the same movie, but there are some changes here and there. The big major difference is that it has Raymond Burr, who would later go on to be Perry Mason. He plays a news reporter named Steve Martin, who basically witnesses Godzilla's rampage. It's told in flashback, and the movie doesn't start out with the shipwreck. It starts out with Tokyo in rubble, and basically him narrating the events of what happened and what led to this. He is good, even though his whole thing is basically exposition, especially during the final rampage to Tokyo. Another thing is that this version of the movie is 20 minutes shorter than the Japanese version, which is a huge disadvantage for this movie because the shorter runtime means that most of the metaphor for the atomic bomb is practically out the window, and it's a 50s monster movie in all its form. One important aspect of this is that there's a scene in Godzilla's rampage when a woman is holding her children. In the US version, she is speaking in Japanese, but it's not subtitled, so you don't know what she's saying. You would assume that she's saying, "God help us," or something like that, along the lines of, "Please save us from this monster." When I saw the Japanese version, it said, "We'll be with your daddy soon, just a little more, we'll see your daddy soon." And that's like, holy shit. That just proves how serious the Japanese movie was taking itself. Other than the short runtime, it still got the haunting music, it still got the creepy cinematography. It just lacks the emotional impact that the Japanese version does. Nevertheless, it's good but not great. So that's my review for Godzilla and the American version, Godzilla King of the Monsters. I will see you guys tomorrow with my review for the sequel, Godzilla Raids Again, and every day in February we'll have a Godzilla review. So see you guys for the rest of the month. Bye.